Sometimes there's just stories that are just filled with intrigue and all kinds of things. But this story here that this has sent me today is just kind of a very wild story. It's from a website called Scroller. Okay, post a South African story. I don't know if that's what they do, but by what I'm seeing here, they have DJ's Boo on the side, and this particular gentleman who died, I think about yesterday or something like that. So I'm thinking that they do publish South African stories. So here they posted an article about a Duduza pastor who the congregation is angry with. No, you may be wondering, why is the not congregation, why is the community angry at this particular pastor? The article is wild. Right. Let's go straight into it. Angry resident want to kick out cult pastor. That's what they have termed him. They've termed him as a cult pastor. You can see the mandems were there. They were protesting, basically. You can see, uh, and they do kind of like speak. I think that's the mother on this particular story. This would be an interesting story to actually hear in person. I saw some about insurance, member policies, and all that over there. And so in the article, it actually says that residents at the East Rand took to the streets on Thursday to demand that Pastor Vusi Hlatswayo of this particular Emmanuel Word of Ministry leave the area. Okay, they allege that the pastor is beneficiaries on people's insurance policies and home belongings and pension funds and collect social welfare grants intended for from church congregants. Basically, it's a very weird whole thing. I would just not understand that. The move against the pastor follows after a mysterious death of Winnie Nkosi, 33 years old, very young, on the 23rd of February. By the way, if you do actually know them, Hala it shows truly. I'd like to hear the story in person. Sounds a bit more complicated and stuff, but it'll be best to hear it from the people close by. Okay, Winnie moved out of her home to live at the church. And so it's a whole compound thing. It already get weird and Jim Jones type from there. With other young people 4 years ago, after her family found game pictures and technical conversations, pastor in a cell phone. And so that would have been a terrible one for her to even move in after such messages. But she's an adult at this point, and so they can do nothing with that. Winnie's mother says that she wants justice for her daughter, and she said the pastor took Winnie when she was alive, but now she is dead, and so forth and so, you know. But now this is the thing about this article. It's a bit of a lengthy article. Yeah, go look out for it. It's actually if you type, let me go back here. If you type a if you type something along the lines of Duduza cult pastor, the article, it's one of the top articles out there. And so they say there are some people who their pension was directly going to the pastor, but he is also beneficiary or put as a beneficiary of people's pensions whom is not related with. Maybe either be property or what, finance, and all that entire stuff. So the policy part, it's not new. We've seen this particular line of stories before. I think if I can remember, uh, I remember there was a pastor and his wife who had gotten arrested because him and his wife were involved in shandies. Uh, I think they were from Eastern Cape, South Cape. I think if I can remember that article, yeah, I think I found the article right here. This story, you guys remember this story right here. Pastor convicted of murder took out life insurance policies on church members. This couple was the worst. Nightmare. Nightmare. Things of dreams, man. Things of nightmare stories. And if you can remember, that particular story went along the lines of a pastor convicted of murder. Okay, they say his name, or order a benefit for life insurance policies they took out on behalf of her. So they got this girl and they claimed that she had gotten a job, claimed to want to drive her out, only for them to kill her. Terrible people. Terrible nightmare people. Some people you cannot, Jesus. Without her knowledge, she even know. Was also convicted of attempted murder of another girl, which involved several attempts. They tried several times, but it failed. Eventually got caught. And you remember, Connor's case, they took out life insurance policies on one worth 3 million rands, and other about two or worth 200,000, as well as a funeral policy of about 50,000 rands. This stuff is stuff of nightmares. And so this has become very common and very popular. And so I can completely understand why this pastor's story kind of just screams loud bells over that, because we've seen this type of stories of pastors taking advantage of church members, actually ending up with these church members dying. Duduza would not have it. Now, by the way, you do know them, holla at them. I would love to hear that story in full detail. In case you haven't seen this particular article, I had not seen it. It's actually a listener that's actually sent me this particular story. This was on the article yesterday. If you do know them, holla at them. Would love to hear the story by themselves. It's Ricky's actuality show. We do daily Christian commentary videos. Be prayerful about where you are. Be prayerful about what pastor you submit under and all that kind of stuff. Because not everybody that says Jesus means Jesus. If you can hear noise, it's Friday. People are, partying a little bit, and it's load shedding right now. And so that's why you can hear generators and them making noise. But hey, they don't do it every day. Allow them be. It's Ricky. I'll see you on the next one episode. Y'all have a good evening. Other episodes done today down in the